Good afternoon and welcome to Celtic Park in Derry City for the Conor McGurk Cup final between Derry and Donegal. Well, we had all planned to be at QUB this afternoon for a 1 p.m. throw-in time, but adverse weather conditions up there meant that this game was quickly rescheduled, and back down it comes here to Celtic Park in the city of Derry. And what a beautiful afternoon it is here in the city. The sun shining brightly, both sides going through their final pieces of their warm-up before this Conor McGurk Cup final throws in. I'm delighted to say that I'm joined on commentary by a familiar voice on Ulster GAA. That is Simon Doherty, former Armagh goalkeeper, 13 years I was reading this morning between the sticks, and now part of, still playing a bit of course with St John's in Belfast, but also part of the Ulster University management team. Simon, great to have you on board and welcome.
Sure, it's great to see you again. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to everybody tuning in, and it's brilliant that Ulster GA are streaming this live on YouTube and Facebook. So yeah, a bit of a reschedule in terms of the travel plans earlier on, but look, we're here in Celtic Park, as you say, Ger. The conditions are great. Sun is shining and the pitch looks quite good, considering the weather that we have had the last number of weeks. So I'm looking forward to an exciting game. Yeah, and the competition itself has been established since 2015, initially ran by Queen's in memory of Conor McGurk, and then Ulster GA taking it over 8 years ago and run it now and making it a bigger competition involving all the counties. It's a brilliant early season tournament for all these counties and getting game time before the National League starts, and you have to give credit to Ulster GA for putting this competition in place. Absolutely, Ger. It's invaluable, especially for the county teams getting ready for the National League beginning next week. I am involved with Ulster University. We're in the Ryan Cup now, our championship, as well as Queen's University are, and it's very valuable for us now. It has been stop-start in terms of the weather. A number of games, the challenges have been in terms of frozen pitches and the snow, obviously, that we had. But look, it has been a wee bit stop-start, but we're bound to have a good final today. Though. Has that diminished it in any way, do you believe, or is that just something that the counties accept? Look, it's been unfortunate this year. I think the Conor McGurk Cup is a brilliant competition, and I've been involved for a number of years. I played in that first final in 2015, so I've been involved really since that, and I definitely see the value in the competition. It's just a pity that the weather has impacted it so much this year, but look, I'm sure there's learnings to take for 2027 and beyond. So look, speaking about now, it's going to be a good final. Yeah, and Derry, of course, have got 2 games under their belt, defeating QUB quite comprehensively on the 7th of January, then beating Down earlier this week. 2-15 to 14 points, good victory as well. Donegal, on the other hand, just the one game against Tyrone, which was decided on penalties, 4-3. Donegal won that, and then their game against University of Ulster didn't take place. So you would expect Derry maybe to be in a better place, particularly after playing that game against Down the other night. I would imagine so. In reality, these county managers, these coaches, they'll be wanting to get as much game time into guys' legs, especially looking forward to next week, the beginning of the National League. And obviously, as you say, Derry have got that extra game, a very competitive game against Down on Tuesday night past in Belfast. So look, you would imagine that Derry will be slight favourites going into this, purely on the fact that they have had that second game, and they'll be looking to have another successful year this year. Derry getting to the ring final once again last year, so that's certainly going to be their target. Well, let's have a look at both sides, and we'll look firstly at Derry playing here, of course, in Celtic Park this afternoon. Owen Mulholland from Lavey is between the sticks, full back line. Patrick Turner from Swatra, Joseph Mulholland, O'Donovan Rossa in Belfast, playing as Hurlin, however, in Derry, and Cara McGilligan from Banagher wears the number 4 shirt. Half back line is Eamon Cassidy, Slough-Neil. Declan Foley, the captain, wears number 6, and Tiernan Milach from Lavey is number 7. The other joint captain is Ryan McGill from the Lavey club. He wears number 8, and number 9 is Conor Coyle from Slough-Neil. Christian McNaughton, who plays his club hurling for Cushendall, but county for Derry, wears 10. Fintan Bradley is at 11, and then a late change sees Eamon Duffin from Lavey wearing number 18, coming in place of Michael Lynch. Full forward line is Paul Cleary, Ballinascreen, Darragh McGilligan from Dungiven, Kevin Lynch's, and Shea Cassidy from Slough-Neil
fills out the full forward line. As for Donegal, they will go as follows, with Luke White from Carndonagh wearing number 1, the full back line of Gavin Brown from Sean McCool's, Kieran Bradley from Burt, and Oisin Kelly also from the Burt club wearing number 4. The half-back line is Donald Farley from Letterkenny Gales, Jared Gilmore from Satanta is 6, and Ryan Hilferty wears number 7. Liam McKinney wears number 8, he's from the Burt club, and a late change sees Richie Ryan wearing number 26, coming in place of number 9, Conor Diver. The half-forward line then is Conor O'Grady from St Eunan's. Number 11 is Kevin Keeley from St Eunan's. And Brian McIntyre comes into the side wearing number 12. The number 12 jersey had been allocated to Dan Donnelly, but unfortunately for Dan, he's unwell today and not able to participate. So Brian McIntyre wears the number 12 shirt. And then the full forward line is Peter Kelly from St Eunan's. Conor Gartland, the captain of the side from the Burt club, wears the number 14 jersey, and John Keeley fills the number 15 shirt. Your thoughts on both those sides and who we're looking out for this afternoon in particular?
Yeah, Ger, starting with Derry, there's a number of guys from Slaughtneil have come back into the panel. It's good to see Conor Coyle, number 9. He missed a lot of the 2025 season with injury, but returned for Slaughtneil in the Ulster series. It's good to see Conor back, and hopefully he'll get a good run of games here to keep the fitness up. Fintan Bradley impressed for me in the Derry Championship at number 11, and he's been a big ball winner, a big strong presence in the half forward line for Derry. And Darragh McGilligan, number 14 inside, a versatile player, can play very comfortable playing in midfield as well as inside, and I would imagine he might play further out the field rather than the number 14 position. Looking at Donegal, Ger, the goalkeeper, number 1, Luke White, was exceptional against Tyrone in the penalty shootout. He was the hero of the day, saving a number of penalties. You've got Conor Gartland, the captain, had a very, very good year with Burt last year. One guy that we do need to look out for is number 26, Richie Ryan. He's a late change to the team. Now, Richie has played with Donegal for a number of years. He's a Limerick man, a guard based in Donegal, and a really, really strong ball winner. I would imagine Richie, he's come in for Conor Diver at midfield, but I would imagine that Richie will be playing closer to the edge of the square, a real presence for Donegal the last number of years, and I would imagine he'll be playing at full forward.
So it could be a Limerick man against a Kilkenny man, because Joseph Mulholland, of course, is playing full back for Derry, and he was born and reared in Kilkenny, so his stock's fairly high as well, I would think.
Yeah, Joe is a young player. He plays his club hurling with O'Donovan Rossa in Belfast, and a fine young player too, hurling with Queens, and that'll be a really fascinating contest to see how he can deal with the physicality of Richie Ryan if that matchup does go as I suspect. So look, it'll be an interesting one. There's certainly a lot of experience amongst some of the Derry guys, whereas the Donegal team are a little bit younger. They've introduced some younger players over the last year or two, and this McGurk Cup is a great opportunity for the likes of Mickey McCann, Gabriel O'Kane, the management team, to really get a good look at guys before the National League begins next week.
Donegal winners for the last 2 years, 23 and 24, going for 3 in a row.
Yeah, a very impressive team, and certainly Donegal have valued the McGurk Cup properly. They've used that competition and carried that form into National League and Championship time. As I say, Mickey McCann, Gabriel O'Kane, 2 very experienced guys at the helm for Donegal. They've introduced Cian Waldron this year into their coaching team as well. So this is going to be a well coached Donegal team, and I expect this to be a close game. Yeah,
and the conditions this afternoon, we spoke briefly about them at the start of this broadcast, but it really is a perfect day. There's not a breeze, there's a nice bit of sunshine, the ground, the pitch is looking really, really well, so it's all set up for a cracking final.
Absolutely, yeah, just the two teams getting ready for Aron the V. And I just spot one guy out in the field wearing Derry jersey number 25, so we'll maybe keep an eye on that. There could possibly be a late change there, we're not 100% sure, but we'll keep an eye on that just as
Thomas Brady from Dungiven
we'll keep an eye on that just as the game is about to start. So yeah.
So we'll pause now for a moment. We've just been advised that number 25 is on the field of play, so well picked out. Thomas Brady from Dungiven is in place of Eamon Cassidy.
We're just being told Eamon is actually going to be wearing the number 25 jersey. So yeah, I spotted that just at the end of the warm-up there. So yeah, Eamon's a very, very good player as well. With Slaughtneil, very accomplished player, can play anywhere in the field too. So
okay, that's confirmation on that matter. So Eamon Cassidy is the man who will wear the number 25 shirt. They must have left the number 5 at home or it hadn't dried properly. think both teams are observing a moment's silence here by the looks of things. Referee this afternoon is Ruan McKinstry from Armagh, and he'll be assisted by Tyrone man Liam McIlvenna and Antrim man Declan McGarry, and the sideline official this afternoon is Mark O'Neill from Antrim, and then the umpires this afternoon is Vincey McAleenan, Eugene Macaulay, Chris Shine and Nathan Craney. And of course them men also had to adjust their travel plans this afternoon and high-footed from Belfast down here to Celtic Park. So we're running a few minutes behind schedule here, but we will have our Ron Levein in a moment or so, and then the action will get underway. So we'll pause now for our anthem, our Ron Levein. So we're all set, all formalities have been completed, and we await for Ruan McKinstry from Armagh to throw in the ball. And just a quick word on the Conor McGurk, who this competition is named after, Simon.
Yeah, Conor McGurk, a very proud St John's man and a Queen's man, a legend of Queen's hurling. And you know, I've grown to know Paula McGurk, his wife, really well over the last number of years, and I know how much this competition means to the McGurk family. So I'm just delighted that we're able to be part of it. Ulster GA are able to be part of it as well. So let's hope it's a good game, Ger.
Yeah, it's a fitting legacy for a real, true Gael, Conor McGurk, and we're underway. The action has started here in Celtic Park and was laid off there by Conor O'Grady for Donegal. Gives it there to his captain Conor Gartland, feeds it in from distance, and that's a fine effort over the bar. It goes, first score of the game from Conor Gartland.
Yeah, exactly the score that at the start that Donegal would have wanted here. I've noticed Richie Ryan has gone in at full forward, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes against Joe Mulholland. First puck out gone to the left wing there by Derry. Yeah,
and close to the sideline, but Donegal have retrieved the situation and they are breaking out with it there in the shape of Kevin Keeley. Keeley lays it back there and picked up by Liam McKinney, feeds the ball out over the far side, stand side here in the great surroundings of Celtic Park as Jared Gilmore forces the ball forward for Donegal. Was cut out there by the cornerback Patrick Turner from Swatter. He delivers a long ball, but again done really well defensively. There was the cornerback Gavin Brown, and Donegal come forward with Kevin Keeley, hits it long, bit of space here now to operate in, but goes to ground and be tackled by two red jerseys and held the ball too long. So the referee sharp on that, and rightly so on that occasion, Simon, I would suggest.
Yeah, John Keeley won the ball well, but he just lost his footing at the wrong time for his point of view, and it's a chance now for Derry to build an attack. It's Darren McGilligan on the ball, Ger.
Yeah, good ball into space where McGilligan comes inside his man, taps the ball on the hurley, still retains possession. Good strong run from McGilligan going through, tries to get it into the corner forward there, Paul Cleary, but there was enough yellow and green jerseys just about to avert the danger, but McGilligan done really, really well on that occasion.
Yeah, he was through on goal, and probably, you know, against all odds really, because he created a chance out of nothing. But Shea Cassidy on the ball now, a chance for Derry to maybe get their first score of the game. Christy McNaughton
from distance, a fine effort from McNaughton. Is it curling? Oh, that's a brilliant brilliant score, super score from Christy McNaughton. We've only played 2 minutes here in Celtic Park, and we've been greeted by to a terrific opening with 2 super points.
Yeah, good score by McNaughton. That'll do his confidence the world of good. Good ball out by Luke White, the goalkeeper for Donegal as well.
Picked up there by Liam McKinney. McKinney lays it off. Donegal slower in their build-up with Brian McIntyre, lays it back there. Donegal still retain possession. Kevin Keely's handled a lot of the slither so far in these opening 2 minutes. Donegal short passing interchange there, did they take it into trouble? No. Donald Farley still manages to come forward, but Derry surround them with the red jerseys there, and it's picked up there by Eamon Castey. Ball still in a bit of a ruck there, the referee keeping a close eye on it, but Donegal have retrieved it again. Bit of space now as the Slithers fed forward, but good tussle there, but the Derry defender does well, comes out with it, but Donegal have the jerseys and have turned it over. Liam McKinney does well, feeds it off. An opportunity now for the corner forward. John Keeley fires it in. He rushed it a little to Keeley. He had a little bit of time. He needed a little bit more composure on that occasion.
Yeah, he had a lot more space than what he realised, and snapped at that chance, as you say, Ger. But good puck out by Mulholland out to the right wing, and Derry building another attack. McGilligan has it.
McGilligan done really well, used his body well to turn his man, but Donegal working really hard. Of the jerseys back there, the number 4 and the number 5, Oisin Kelly and Donald Farley, done well, turned over the ball, and the referee's whistle goes, and it'll be a free for the Donegal man. Luke White from the Carndonagh club will come out to take the free over there on the far side on the 13-metre line. Great distance to his pucks has Luke White, delivers it high and long, dropping down, well held on that occasion, put his hand on it, did Conor Gartland, the point scorer, but didn't retain it, so Derry are able to turn it over and come forward. They look up, fed the ball forward, not the best ball in the world, in the Donegal full back there. Kieran Bradley does really well, comes out in front and gathers it, gives it off to Liam McKinney and Bradley pairing up. Bradley from distance goes for the shot, but again rushed it a little, I think, on that occasion did Kieran Bradley, and that's the second wide of the opening 4 minutes for the Donegal men. Sides locked level. Yeah,
Kieran did really well there, a nice combination play with McKinney, but the full-back jersey, maybe he's not a most natural shooter, Ger, and probably should have laid the ball inside to one of the inside forwards, but
again there was time and space to do that.
Correct.
This man Kevin Keeley is working so hard for Donegal, and again him and Donald Farley have turned over the ball, and Donegal will be pleased with how they have the ball given away on that occasion. Paul Cleary, man over the top, if he can find him, feeds it back out. Conor Coyle is in possession for the Oakleaf men. Back out it comes to Eamon Castey. Castey from distance goes for the post. In it goes. The umpires look, but it goes to the right hand side and goes wide. First wide of the game for Derry. Donegal got turned over rather cheaply on that occasion.
They did, yeah. It's interesting. I've spotted Kevin Keeley, number 11, on his back, but he's playing a very deep role, and Jerry Gilmore at 6 is actually pushing it further forward. So interesting positional switch by Donegal, and Keeley has done well so far. He's got on a lot of ball.
So handled an awful lot of ball, as Tiernan Malloch done really, really well for Derry there, and feeds the ball forward, and McGilligan out in front again. He's looking as if he's going to be a handful, goes for the post. That's a brilliant effort. It's just gone to the right hand side from a very difficult angle, but he has looked really, really impressive out in front. I think it's Oisin Kelly that's picking him up, and he's proven a thorn.
Yeah, he's causing a lot of danger so far, and he's a real target man for Derry, especially when they're playing nice ball into space for Dara. He's doing really well. He's winning ball. Unlucky there not to get the score, and could have easily added to Derry's lead. But look, 2 wides apiece, a point apiece. It's been very even so far, Ger.
Certainly has. Referee not happy because there was another slither on the pitch, and therefore Luke White will have to repeat his puck out. Looks to give it down here this terrace side, and that's an excellent puck out into the safe hands of Gavin Brown. Brown feeds it off. Donegal retain possession. Ball batted forward there to Liam McKinney. McKinney fires it in, not happy with the ball he played, and that's why, because the goalkeeper has come out and dealt with it well. Donegal again fighting hard, and they forced Patrick Turner to bring it out over the end line, and that'll result in a 65.
Yeah, it's an opportunity now for Donegal to add to their lead, but really intelligent ball out. I was keeping an eye in the middle of the field, the movement of the Donegal guys in around the middle. They created that space in the right hand channel of the field. Really nice ball out by Luke White, secured the ball. Gavin Brown secured the the ball well, good ball inside, and as you say, the pressure forced Patrick Turner just to carry that ball out over the end line. So Jerry Gilmore, it's an opportunity for him now to add another point to his tally for his Donegal career. He's a fine player for Donegal for a number of years, and for Setanta as well, Ger.
So the Setanta man spots the ball down just maybe a half a foot back inside the 65 and bends, looks at the post again, lifts, strikes. It's on its way. It looks good from here. It's a super score. He was really calm and composed and confident in what he was doing there, Simon.
Yeah, very, very good player. Accomplished free taker as well, Ger. And very, very consistent, both for club and for county. Intercepted this ball, intercepted by Liam McKinney.
Yeah, puck out, not the best in the world, and Donegal look to punish with another effort there.
Yeah, and they've done just that, Jerry. Yeah, a point by Liam McKinney. Really, really good score by him. Secured the ball well, took his steps forward and steadied himself in front of the post. Nice score, 3-1 Donegal.
Yeah, and he started really well also for Donegal.
Yeah, he's a very, very good player. Very impressive the last number of years. I have a feeling he might have been man of the match on one of the McGurk finals maybe 2 years ago. So very, very impressive player.
A ruck in the centre of the field, which the referee is keeping a close eye on, but it's the Derry man, Chrissy McNaughton, who scored that wonderful point for Derry that came out with it. But again, it's Gavin Brown over on the far side, does really well, feeds the ball forward. The full back there is Joe Mulholland, palms it down there to his joint captain Declan Foley. Foley, long ball into space. That space is filled on this occasion by the corner forward. That's Paul Cleary. Cleary goes to the post from distance, but hasn't got the distance to get trouble the umpires or the goalkeeper, and it's easily dealt with there by the Donegal rear guard. Back to the goalkeeper Luke White. White sprays the ball out towards Brian McIntyre. Plenty of space to operate in. Looks up, delivers a short ball forward there to Gavin Brown. He's everywhere in the pitch at the moment as Brown looks up, low ball in, finds the intended target, picked up there by Gilmore. Scored that point a moment ago from the free, fires it in, but fires it to the right hand side and fires it wide for Donegal. 3 points to 1 in favour of Donegal, and 3 points to 2, or 3 wides to 2 in favour of Donegal in terms of the shooting. That has been missed.
This ball's been intercepted.
Picked up again by Liam McKinney, who started really, really well. Feeds it forward to the man who got the opening score. That's Conor Gartland, the captain of the side. And Gartland doesn't miss from there, Simon.
Yeah, second point from play. The goalkeeper went short from the puck out, and it was intercepted on the second phase. And Donegal are putting these Derry guys under massive pressure. And Gartland's got 2 points from play. Where the game's not even 10 minutes old yet, so he'll be happy with the start that he's made.
Yeah, they're working really hard all over the pitch. That's what has impressed me in these opening 9 minutes here. And here they come forward again with Conor O'Grady. O'Grady gives it off to Gartland with 2 points to his name. Back to this man who's involved in everything. That's Liam McKinney. McKinney feeds it forward. Getting it at the second attempt there is Brian McIntyre. McIntyre feeds it back there to Ryan Hilferty. Hilferty, long probing ball into space. That space has been filled by a Donegal man and feeds a great ball inside to McKinney. McKinney, I said he was everywhere. Can he finish? No, the goalkeeper stood his ground, got his position and right to Mulholland and blocked the ball from that effort. And here come Derry again, end to end stuff here as the ball is picked up by Paul Cleary. Cleary being hassled and harried by this man, Jared Gilmore, by Kevin Keeley, I should say. And Kevin Keeley is adjudged to have pushed and fouled, and therefore the free goes the way of Derry. But an important stop from Owen Mulholland there.
Yeah, good save. A really nice move that Donegal made, and McKinney made a great run through the middle, well found, and he hit the ball straight at the goalie. Good save by Mulholland. He stood strong, but Derry, they cleared the ball well secured by Paul Cleary, and a bit of a push in the back. So look, that could have been easily a 6 point gap, but it's now possibly going to be a 2 point gap, and this is one that Fintan Bradley will need for Derry.
That's the voice of Simon Doherty with us here this afternoon, the former Armagh goalkeeper, as Fintan Bradley steadies down. Looks good from Bradley. It is good from Bradley. Over the bar it goes from the Lavey man. As you say, that brings it back to just double scores, 4 points to 2.
Yeah, it could have easily been 1-4 to a point there, really. So yeah, look, Derry will be happy that they got away with that one, but 4-2 they'll be satisfied because they haven't really got into the game too much yet. It's been all Donegal over the first 11, maybe 11 and a half minutes. So look, Donegal played really well, but Derry will be satisfied they're only 2 behind at this
It's
stage.
the work rate that has impressed me from Donegal in those opening 11 minutes that you've spoke about.
Yeah, the likes of Kevin Keeley, we mentioned him, number 11. He's been on a mountain of ball already. And Donegal are using the ball well. They're gaining the ball, but they're using it really well. They're comfortable in possession, which is very impressive to see. Ryan
Hilferty with the sideline puck over there, gives it forward to Conor Gartland. Back through the hands it goes. Opportunity here again for Gavin Brown coming forward. Has Brown a finish, but the goalkeeper is there, picks it up comfortably. Does Owen Mulholland, another Lavey man, distributes the ball out over the far side to his midfielder Conor Coyle. Long probing ball picked up there by Paul Cleary. Cleary has support but continues to take the slither forward. Cleary needs support now from Darren McGilligan. McGilligan does well. Also looking for it here on the near side is Anton Duffy, but the ball is fed forward one more time there towards Shea Casty, but Casty leaves the ball behind him, and Donegal defence will be delighted with that as Liam McKinney again is there to pick up the scraps and gives it to Oisín Kelly. Kelly distributes it long over the far side looking for his namesake, that's Peter. Back inside it goes. Donegal still retain possession here with Richie Ryan. Ball crossfield to Brian McIntyre. McIntyre didn't take it at the first attempt. Diminutive figure, but does well. Lays it back out there to Peter Kelly. Ball fired in from distance there from Jared Gilmore, but it's gone to the right hand side and gone wide, and that'll be the only thing that'll be upsetting the Donegal management team of Michael McCann and Gabriel Keane, etc., is the number of wides.
Yeah, look, 4 scores on the board, but 4 wides as well. They'll be wanting to be more efficient in front of goal. Look, they don't want to be adding to these wides too many times more, because 4 points to 2, it's a free in for Derry. It could be a 1 point game, yet it's been all Donegal. So they'll be frustrated at this stage that they're not further ahead.
Donegal defender climbing over on the back of Fenton Bradley as they contested that ball from the kick out from Owen Mulholland, and therefore our referee this afternoon, the Armagh man, Ruan McKinstry, has awarded the free in, and we've seen Fenton Bradley scoring a much more difficult point 2 minutes ago for Derry. He's on the 45 metre line, steadies down, hits it through, but well, there you are, commentator's curse. He's put it to the left hand side and put it wide. He'd be really disappointed with that.
Yeah, not like Fenton, usually very steady on the freeze, but maybe you give him the commentator's curse here. We'll not say any more now, but
Luke White with the puck out for the Tyrconnell man. Ball breaks, picked up by Derry over on the far side. Looks like a foul. Referee says play can continue. Some man Fenton Bradley done well, retrieved the situation. Strong shoulder there. The referee tells the Derry man to get up, and Conor Gartland is in possession, goes to ground, needs support. Well, tried to flick it forward, but Tiernan Millock was too wise for that, and Derry come forward with Fenton Bradley. Delivers a long probing ball again. This time is Paul Cleary. It looked as if he had it in his control, but the referee sees a foul there, much to the dismay of Donald Farley and maybe others.
Yeah, look, Paul Cleary did well. Donald Farley has defended really well actually in his first 14 and a half minutes. Can count himself a little bit unlucky there, but look, it's an opportunity now for Fenton Bradley to add point number 2 for his personal tally, number 3 for Derry, and look, especially after the last one, it is one that Derry need at this stage, Jerry. And we did expect it to be a competitive game. It is a competitive game.
It's not letting us down on that front, I know.
Certainly.
As Fenton Bradley steadies down, the first quarter has flown in, 15 minutes gone. Bradley to put 1 point between the sides. Bradley has put 1 point between the sides. It's been an entertaining opening 15 minutes, Simon.
Yeah, very, very good, to be fair. As I mentioned a minute or two ago, Donegal have had a lot of the possession. Yes, they are ahead by a point, but they could be a lot further ahead. They have had 4 wides as well. So, that's a very, very good game so far.
Ball out over the far side. That's the stand side. We're high up here on the terrace side in the press box. Great view from where we are as the ball, Derry come out with the ball again through the midfielder Conor Coyle. Good strong purposeful run from Coyle, has support here from Cleary if need be. Cleary, he's had a few opportunities so far, dangerous ball, but again he'd be disappointed with his finish, but he's left it behind him. The opportunities there from McNaughton, but retrieving it again is that man who's had a brilliant opening start to this game. That's Gavin Brown, done really, really well on that occasion. Feeds it out to Oisín Kelly, and Kelly gives it to Kevin Keeley, and Keeley comes forward. Derry putting on the pressure, but the ball fed over now towards Liam McKinney. McKinney scored a point so far, had one save by the goalkeeper, gives them 4. Good bit of skill from Conor Gartland, flicked it over the defender. The defender was Declan Foley. Now the tussle for it close to the sideline. Peter Kelly is the man who has it. The referee's hand goes up. Advantage being played. It's going to be brought back because no advantage has accrued. Good refereeing by Ruan McKinstry there. Brings it back, and the free will go the way of the Tyrconnell men. But again, good enterprising play from Donegal.
Yeah, Peter Kelly did really well there. It was a nice bit of play from McKinney. Kelly got on the ball, took his man on well, drew the foul. He did have a shot to nothing. It was well blocked, so the referee made the right decision. It's a free in. I've been impressed with the referee too. I know Ruan really well, and he's letting the game flow well, and that's what everybody wants to see.
Not buying players going to ground. I've seen him a couple of times telling players to get back up and get on with it. So that's set out his stall really well as Jared Gilmore steadies down for this opportunity for Donegal. We've played 17 and a half minutes. An opportunity to put Donegal 2 in front. Very accurate with his first free. Very accurate with his second free as well. Over the bar it sails. Good score. 5 points to 3.
Yeah, good score by Jerry Gilmore, 2 from 2 from himself. So look, Donegal management will be happy that they are ahead. They'll be wanting, for this second quarter of the game, really to kick on the scoreboard and try and make the full advantage of their early possession and early chances that they have created.
Puck out from Mulholland. Break ball picked up there by Tiernan Mealoch. Mealoch goes to ground, being harassed by the Donegal players, but he gets the opportunity to float the ball in. Breaks favourably here for Shea Cassidy. Cassidy has a quick glance at the post. Very unfortunate. Comes off the upright and goes to the right hand side and goes wide.
Yeah, Derry's 4th wide. Nice move. Good ball inside by Deggy Foley. Christy McNaughton did well to break it to Shea Cassidy, but just clipped off the outside of the post. So unfortunate for Shea.
Puck out for Luke White, the man from Carndonna. Goes short on this occasion. Finds Donald Farley. Farley delivers it long. Back there, great defending. Well picked up by Patrick Turner. Does really well. Feeds the ball forward. Well picked up by Christy McNaughton. McNaughton from distance. We showed earlier in the game that he has the accuracy, but on this occasion it's gone to the right hand side and gone wide. I talked about Donegal management being maybe a bit frustrated with wides, and now it's the Derry management's turn, I'm sure.
Yeah, well look, there's two wides in quick succession there. That could have easily been a level game, 5 apiece. So Derry will be wanting to try and tag on a couple of scores here before half time. Great take by the Eamon Cassidy.
Yeah, Eamon Cassidy done really well. Picked it up on that occasion. Picked up now by Shea Cassidy. Cassidy goes for the post, but again another wide. That's 3 wides in the space of 2 minutes for the Derry men.
Yeah, look, they are creating chances, but they need to be more clinical in front of goal, and I'm sure that Johnny McGarvey and the management team won't be satisfied. 3 points in 19 and a half minutes. It's not enough. Derry need to have more on the board at this stage.
So, busy man at the moment is Luke White. This time he goes down the middle. Up the Gopher. Ball batted down. Derry sharp on the brakes again. Picked it up. Coming more into the game with Fintan Bradley on this occasion. Goes to the post, but it's the same story. That's 4 wides in the space of maybe 3 minutes?
Yeah, and look, for the last 3-4 minutes, Derry have taken control of this game, but they haven't converted the chances. There are 4 wides in a row, and they maybe just need a score just to settle themselves back into the game. Look, it's not a panic station or anything like it. They're only 2 points behind, but there's 4 chances there that they've missed in a row. So Derry will be wanting to try and get a score on the board here very, very quickly. They're on the ball again now through Conor Coyle.
They've dominated the Donegal kick out or puck out, and now the ball is fed forward there towards Shea Cassidy. Goes to the post. This looks much better from Cassidy. It is much better from Shea Cassidy. It's his opening point. It narrows the gap to 4 or to 1 point, and it steadies the nerves a little.
Yeah, 5 points to 4, and look, Derry, as we mentioned, could easily be ahead after their dominance the last 5 minutes, but McKinney on the ball, good puck out by Donegal. The chance now for Hilferty to build the ball in. That's a good effort. Yeah,
in it goes. Danger, the keeper watches it all the way. It comes off his fingertips and goes out for a 45, but you have to give credit to Luke White for that puck out, the needed one, and he was alert to pick out a Donegal man over on the far side, Hilferty being the man who received the ball.
Yeah, nice combination between McKinney and Hilferty, and good dangerous ball inside, just slipped out of the fingertips for Owen Mulholland for a 65, but look, it's an opportunity now for Donegal to extend their lead by a further point. So Jerry Gilmore has been good so far. He's got 2, one from a 65, one from a free, so the 65 shout that he did get previously. This one is nearly a carbon copy in terms of exactly where it was. So, he's had practice before, so he'll be wanting to put this one between the sticks.
I would think it's probably from the very, very same spot, and he's put the ball down that, maybe 7-8 inches further back behind the line. He'll now bend and he'll take a little while and he'll look at the posts and 1 or 2 or 3 times and comes forward, then pucks it well, looks good from here. It is good. That's a super strike again. That's 265s and a free from Jerry Gilmore, and he puts his side 2 points in front.
Yeah, look, and the sun has just come out behind the clouds, into the eyes of the Derry full back line and goalkeeper. So look, it'll be interesting to see the Donegal maybe try and target that over the next 8 or 9 minutes before half time, because that sun is quite difficult for a defence there. I see a few guys arms across the eyes there trying to block it out, but Conor Coyle on the ball now. Derry, he lost it.
I was just saying Derry have got their hands on the ball, but just as I was about to say it, as you described, they've lost it, and the ball now is in the hands of Liam McKinney. McKinney delivers it long again. Good probing ball, but well defended on that occasion and picked up really well by the Derry rear guard, and out they come with it. Strong run on this occasion from Joe Mulholland. Mulholland feeds it forward, picked up by Shea Cassidy. Got a point a moment ago. You make that 2. That's 2 on the bounce for Shea Cassidy, and it reduces the gap back to a point again.
Yeah, a bit more fluidity into the game now. I've been very impressed, I have to say, by number 2 Patrick Turner for Derry. He's come out with ball after ball on numerous occasions, and he's been very steady in the full back line, so he built that attack as well. But long ball by Donegal now. Yeah. Coil on it for Derry.
Derry are doing really well on the break ball over the last 5 minutes or so, and just as I say, they've been turned over, and the man you don't want to turn it over to is Liam McKinney. He fires it in over the shoulder. It's still in the danger area. Mohamed out a hurl there as the ball is fired in, comes off a Derry man, did it? Or did it go to the left hand side and go wide?
Yeah, it was just the umpire just he extended one arm there instead of the 2. But yeah, Richie Ryan snapped at that chance. It's a wide, further wide, 5th wide for Donegal, but a dangerous ball into the square, and I think Donegal or Derry will be delighted that ball didn't go over the bar. Still 6-5 Donegal.
Long puck out again, well picked up there on that occasion by Cassidy. Cassidy lays it back. Still an opportunity for Conor Coyle from Slough-Neil. From distance, in it goes. That looks a brilliant effort from Conor Coyle. That is a brilliant effort from the Slough-Neil man over the bar. It sails, and the sides are level here in Celtic Park at 6 points apiece.
Yeah, nice combination between the 2 Slough-Neil men. Cassidy fed it to Conor Coyle, and a really good score by Coyle. 6 apiece, and Derry will be happy at this stage, that they are really back into the game over the last 7 or 8 minutes, and from their point of view, they're finally level on the scoreboard. Ball
fed forward to Darren McGilligan, a little bit further out from the post, gives it to McNaughton. McNaughton fancies this one from distance, in it goes. That's a brilliant effort again from Christy McNaughton over the bar. It sails. It's his 2nd of the afternoon, and it's the first time that Derry have went in front in this game.
Yeah, good score by McNaughton, very, very accomplished, especially off that right hand side of his, and 7-6 for Derry. They'll be really happy that they are now ahead. They've dominated the last 7, 8, 9 minutes maybe,
and particularly on break ball. That's what I've noticed.
Yes,
they're dominating the Donegal puck out, and particularly picking up the break ball.
Yeah, and in terms of they had hit a number of wides in a row there, so very easily Ger could be ahead by more than 1 point. So look, they'll be satisfied that they've managed to get themselves back into the game, and become very competitive, as you say, in the breaking ball, using the ball well as well once they do win it.
And there is that bit of space. You're missing on the action here, by the way, because Luke White over to our left, the Donegal goalkeeper, needs some attention, but there is that little bit of space when the puck out comes. There's a lot of players accumulated in the middle of the pitch. Then Derry are winning the break ball and feeding it in quickly and accurately into that full forward line, and Cassidy in particular is making hay. Yeah,
and do you know what? Credit to Derry that the Donegal for the first 15-16 minutes did really well on their own puck out. They were securing a lot of possession, building a lot of attacks, and winning a lot of the break. The last 10 or so minutes, that's changed. Derry have, as you said, Jared, have taken control. They've come to grips with what Donegal are doing, and they've become much steadier in terms of the end of the game. Their influence, in terms of feeding the inside forwards. The likes of Shea Cassidy has got 2 scores now. McNaughton has got 2 scores. They're very much in the game. Could easily be further ahead.
That's the voice of Simon Doherty with us here on Ulster GA Facebook and YouTube. channels, broadcasting live from Celtic Park this afternoon for this, the Conor McGurk final between Donegal and Derry. It's a line ball over the far side for the Derry man. It was Fintan Bradley took the previous one. He's left the duties on this occasion to Eamon Cassidy, and Cassidy pucks it low. Doesn't get much distance on it, but it goes the way of Conor McGurk, and Derry come forward in the shape of Shea Cassidy. He has 2 points to his name. Elects to go back out with it, very, very close to the sideline, kept in play. Donegal forcing Derry back, but Ryan McGill, the Lavey man, does well, doesn't get purchase on that, and it's well picked up. Safe hands from Gavin Brown again. Brown looks a very accomplished hurler, does Gavin Brown from the Sean McCool's club in Ballybofey, as the ball is pucked crossfield, picked up there by Liam McKinney. McKinney feeds it this near side, picked up by the fullback Kieran Bradley from Burt. Bradley feeds it down. There's 2 Derry men and 1 Donegal man. Great battle in there between Joseph Mulholland and Conor Gartland. Referee says that Gartland done a little bit of pushing and fouling in the back of the Derry man, and the free goes the way of the Oakleaf County, and they take it quickly. Want to move the ball forward into space. Picked up there by Eamon Cassidy, who's found himself a yard or two, but that's great defensive play by Ryan Hilford. He came back and snapped that ball away off the hurl of the Derry man, and he's won his side a free. Great defensive play by Ryan Hilford.
Yeah, real determination there by Hilferty to win that ball back, because Derry were building a nice move. Decky Foley had played the free quickly across the goal to McGilligan, up the line to Cassidy, and that was a nice. Derry were building a nice attack, but credit to Ryan Hilferty, turned the ball over, drew the foul, and this is an opportunity now for Donegal to put this ball. They might even put this around the house with that sun in the eyes of the goalie and the full back line. So
Liam McKinney, the Burtman, has came a long distance to hit this one in, and that he does, and as you say, the sun in the eyes of the Derry defenders, but it's been well picked up there by their joint captain Declan Foley. Gets it out to a man who's coming deeper and deeper as the game has gone on. That's Darragh McGilligan, and Derry build this one well. Ball fed forward into space, picked up there by Cleary. Can he get it done really well? Bounced off the Donegal man, has support. Oh, great interception again from that man who took the free a moment ago. That's Liam McKinney. He's a fine hurler, is the Burt man. Lays it back. Opportunity now for Donegal to come forward with Donald Farley. Farley feeds it forward into space. The ball pumped in long by Peter Kelly. Goes to the post. It's dropping, and it's dropping over the bar. Fine score from Peter Kelly. Sides level for the second time in this game at 7 points apiece.
Yeah, and I think it's a fair reflection really of what has happened so far. It could be intercepted here. Decky Foley did really well to secure that ball on the second occasion.
Just about. And Derry ride their luck on that occasion. The 2 number 11s contested over there. That's Fintan Bradley and Kevin Keeley. Ball has gone out. Well, the referee's brought it back inside for an earlier foul.
Yeah, I think the referee judged Fintan Bradley just to be holding the jersey of his opposite number, Kevin Keeley. So once again, a chance now for Donegal to put a long ball into the house. But the 7 each is a fair reflection, Ger, I suppose, of the game. Donegal dominated for the first maybe 13-14 minutes. Derry have come back into the game, and we're now level. So I think that's a fair enough reflection.
Nothing between the sides really. We'll talk more about that at half time, of course, as ball fed forward by Conor O'Grady to Brian McIntyre. McIntyre close to the sideline. Small, diminutive figure, as I've alluded to earlier. That's a brilliant effort from Brian McIntyre, and the umpire goes for the white flag and raises it high, and the quality of that score, you could have nearly give it 2.
Yeah, that's the score of the first half, Jared, without a doubt. A brilliant score by McIntyre. Secured the ball well, took it on and actually sort of, really close to the sideline. Dissected the post, so no.
He had so little room to operate in, hadn't he?
Yeah, really impressive score. I think the referee's making the goalie retake the puck out here. I think he hadn't blown the whistle, so chance now for one Mulholland to try and find one of his teammates.
Yeah, I haven't seen the board go up to indicate how many minutes of additional time. There was one short stoppage for Luke White receiving attention as Owen Mulholland's puck out finds the hands of Tiernan Mealock. Mealock has been turned over and it's back to that man McIntyre. Got that wonder score a few moments ago. Confidence will be high. Looks at the post, going down the sideline, needs support, comes back, cuts it back out. Opportunity now for for Peter Kelly. He got a point a moment ago as well. That's a brilliant effort from Peter Kelly. Well, Donegal started the half really, really well, went into a 4-1 lead, and they're finishing the half really well. They've hit the last 3 in a row, and the lead 9-7.
Yeah, they'll not be wanting the half-time whistle to come, because they've come back into the game really well, the last 3 scores. But Darren McGilligan on the ball now for Derry, trying to draw a foul. He's actually been blown for steps. So we mentioned earlier, the referee's letting everything go, which is good, and McGilligan probably should have released that ball. So it's a chance for Donegal to try and tag on another score before the half.
Yeah, and they want another score, and they're launching this one long. They don't have the numbers in there as such, and it looks like the Derry man has gained possession of the slither and feeds it forward near side of the field. Just left behind on that occasion by Eamon Duffin, and Donegal come forward again, picked up on the hurl really, really well. Back it goes to Brian McIntyre feeds it forward, taking his eye over there for a minute was Conor Gartland, but the ball breaks favourably for him. Has Gartland to finish in him? That's a foul by the fullback Joe Mulholland on Gartland, and that'll result in a free dead straight in front of the goals, and surely a great opportunity for Donegal to stretch their lead out to 3 points.
Yeah, you'd expect Jerry Gilmore to get this one. He's got 3 so far, and look, nice play by Donegal. They've come back into the game really well the last 4 or 5 minutes. Very impressive play there by Gartland, drew the foul off Joe Mulholland well, and this is an opportunity now. You'd expect Jerry Gilmore to put this one over. So Donegal, they've really capitalised on the last 4 or 5 minutes. All of the opportunities that they've had, they've been much more efficient in front of goal in comparison to their earlier chances.
Gilmore, as you say, he's 2 from a 65, 1 from a free from a difficult angle. This one dead straight in front of the post, and he pops that one over the bar to put the lead out to 10-7. I would expect that this will be the last piece of action when this puck out from Mulholland comes out. Yes, that indeed is the case. Our referee played 2.5 minutes of additional time in this first half, a richly entertaining first half, in which, as I said, Donegal started really well, ran into a 4-1 lead. It was nip and tuck then. Derry came back into it. They hit 3 points in a row between the 22nd and the 24th minute to put themselves 7-6 in front, and they looked to be in the ascendancy. But Donegal, as you say, came back with 4 scores in the last 4 minutes of the half. Peter Kelly with 2, Brian McIntyre with 1, and Jared Gilmore with that free a moment ago. And that means that the men from Tyrconnell, I would say, probably deservedly lead 10-7, but not a lot in it. They're very evenly well matched teams.
Yeah, throughout the course of the first 30 minutes, it's important to note that these pre-season competitions are 30 minutes. So the first, I would imagine, probably 20 of the 30 minutes were all Donegal. And 8 or 9 minutes Derry definitely came back into the game, got ahead as you said, but did hit a number of wides, 4 wides in a row, which they'll probably rue at half time in terms of they should be either level or certainly closer to Donegal. So that's something that they'll need to be conscious of at half time. But look, Donegal full value for their 3-point lead, and have been very impressive so far.
There's been some fine individual performances on both sides, but let's look at the Donegal side first and foremost. Who has stood out for you?
Yeah, one of the guys who has stood out, not in terms of scoring or anything like that, but how he has defended. Number 5, Donald Farley. Gavin Brown, number 2, yes, but Donald Farley, number 5. Time after time, he's come out with the ball and turned over his opponent. So look, he's been impressive. Kevin Keeley, number 11 on his back, but is playing sort of at centre back, and he's been on the ball plenty and using the ball well, as of Liam McKinney and Conor Gartland. So look, Donegal have been good so far, and they're not showing signs of maybe lack of match practice. We had mentioned beforehand Derry having the 2 games in the Conor McGurk Cup. You would have expected them maybe to be starting a wee bit quicker than Donegal, but Donegal are going well.
And for Derry, who has caught your eye?
Yeah, Derry have been good. Shea Cassidy has come into the game well later in the half, got 2 scores from play, as is Christy McNaughton. They're doing quite well. Patrick Turner, number 2, has defended really well, come out with ball after ball, as well as his opposite number 2, as you mentioned, Gavin Brown of Donegal. So look, it's very even so far. Those couple of missed chances for Derry, they'll be thinking about those at half time and saying, can we be a wee bit more efficient in the second half from a Derry point of view? Donegal, they're doing a lot of good things. They'll be saying, can we just keep going? So it's a big second half to come, Ger.
All set up for what should be a thrilling second half here in the Conor McGurk Cup final, coming to you live from Celtic Park in Derry on the Ulster GA Facebook and YouTube channels. We will take a short break here at half time and be right back with second half action. But at half time, it's the men from Tyrconnell who lead Derry by 10-7.
Our charity partner this year is Down Some Proud.
Welcome back to Celtic Park for this Conor McGurk Cup final, which is evenly poised at half-time. Donegal leading by 3 points. Those late scores, 4 points in a couple of minutes just before half-time, has put them into that lead of 3 points, 10-7. Both sides just back out on the field, and the eagle-eyed Simon Doherty alongside me here this afternoon. The former Armagh goalkeeper has spotted a change in the Derry side, and of course it's the goalkeeping union.
Yeah, Leo Passmore, number 16, has gone into the goal here instead of Owen Mulholland, so we're presuming it could have been a planned thing, maybe half each sort of scenario. So look, I know Leo very well, very, very good goalkeeper. I coached him with UU a number of years ago, and it's good to see him back there because he had an ACL injury last year, so it's great to see him actually back playing. So big striker of the ball too, big hitter. So
man from the Owen Rua club in Coleraine.
Indeed, yeah. So look, it's a very, very accomplished goalkeeper as well, so it's good to see him back.
So we're all set for the second half. Our referee, Ruan McKinstry, has thrown it in, and we're underway. 30 minutes to be played here in these pre-season competitions, and coming forward with it there is Eamon Cassidy, looking for the opening point of the second half, and he has it within 11 seconds. That's a fine score from Eamon Cassidy. He took on responsibility himself and wasn't afraid to go for the post.
Yeah, exactly the start that Derry would have wanted. You know, as you say, 11 seconds, Ger. You know, one of the fastest scores I'm sure we'll see all year, really, in any competition, league or championship. You know, and exactly the start that Derry would have wanted. 2-point game, 10 plays 8.
Maybe sets a tone early for Derry, and they're in possession with the point scorer. That's Eamon Cassidy, probing ball out over the far side, close to the sideline. Tackles go in, but Tiernan Mealock does well, gets it back to Ryan McGill. McGill feeds it forward. Again, good defensive play, well picked up there by the man you spoke about before half time, Donald Farley. Give it back there to Oisín Kelly to his full-back Kieran Bradley coming out, didn't carry it too far, if another step or two, and I'd say he might have been penalised as Donegal come forward now in the shape of Peter Kelly. He scored 2 points late in the opening half. Ball batted down, picked up by Karen McGilligan, but back it comes to favour of Donegal, taking their eye of it on that occasion. The ball flicked away, but only as far as the Donegal man again. That's Liam McKinney back to Peter Kelly fires it in from distance. He snapped at it again, a little bit of a rush to get that shot away, and Kelly's shot goes to the left hand side and goes wide. 6 wide of the game for Donegal. Yeah,
snapped at it. Kelly got 2 really nice scores before the end of the first half, but snapped at that opportunity. But it's an opportunity now for Donegal to build another attack.
Break ball. Oisín Kelly does well, wins the free, and the free goes the way of Donegal. Wanting to take it quickly there was Liam McKinney, but he's going to leave it for the trusted free taker. That's Jerry Gilmore, who has 4 points in the opening half. This is probably his toughest so far, but he's showing that he's an accomplished free taker.
Yeah, and to be honest, you know, it's one of these rare occasions that there's not too much of a breeze either way. So, you know, quite nice conditions for Gilmore. You know, he's maybe 10 metres past the 45 on his own side, so it's an opportunity for him now. It'll be a great score if he gets it.
Yeah, it must be 75 metres out from the post.
At least, yeah. That's short.
It is, but it's has the right trajectory.
Oh, what a score!
That's a brilliant,
what a score!
Brilliant score from Jared Gilmore. It did look as if it was. I agreed with you there. I thought it was going to go short, but that's a super score.
Brilliant score. Yeah, no, the way he struck it, I thought he had maybe undercooked it, but you know, it definitely had the distance, and fair play to Gilmore. So 11 plays 8, Donegal.
Yeah, so they were right to leave it and not take it quick, because I know Liam McKinney had came over and was looking to take it quickly there as Conor Coyle breaks forward. An opportunity for Derry to reply to that score, and that looks a good effort again from Conor Coyle. That's his second of the afternoon, and that means we're back to a 2-point game.
Yeah, 11-9. Good, really nice puck out by Luke White. He's found his cornerback Gavin Brown in space, and it's an could be a foul in the back. No, referee playing on. I think he's done well there to allow that game to be developed.
Yeah, and it's eventually Ryan McGill from Lavey gives it over to Dara McGilligan. McGilligan feeds it in long. Great battle inside there for it, picked up by McNaughton. The referee's hand goes up. The referee says there's a foul on the Derry man, and the free will go the way of I would think Chrissy McNaughton's going to take it quickly, goes for the goals. Will the referee allow that?
No, I think he was waiting on the whistle. He's pointing to the whistle. Yeah, so it's McNaughton. I've seen him do that before, Jerry. He's even done it against me once or twice. Tried it in the league games.
Well, you could see as soon as the whistle went that's what was in his mind, because Fintan Bradley is the free taker, of course, and has scored a couple of points. But I could see by McNaughton that he wanted to hit it quick.
Yeah,
too quick for the referees liking.
As I say, I've seen him do it before, so I wasn't surprised that he tried to do it. But
so take two, and this time it is the established free taker Fintan Bradley, and he has popped that one over the bar. So it's back to a 1 point game. Good start to the second half for Derry. They've outscored Donegal 3-1 in the opening 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, good start. A much more open start to the second half than what the first half was. Very, very competitive. It was 10-7 at the break. Derry have started well in the second half, 3-1. They're ahead in the second half. So great take by Declan Foley.
Brilliant take by Declan Foley. Feeds it forward now to McGilligan, but McGilligan has been robbed by his opposite number. That's Conor Gartland. Gartland feeds it inside, but no Donegal man there. So the Oakleaf County pick it up again. Ball sprayed.
Fintan Bradley has it.
Yeah, Fintan Bradley, the free taker, floats it in. Inside it goes, but good defensive play again. It was Chrissy McNaughton battling for it in there, but it's been picked up and it's going to be cleared by Donegal, and it's that man Kevin Keeley again doing his defensive duties. He may have a number 11 on his back, but he is playing in the back six, as that man Gavin Brown from Sean McCool's comes forward, leaves it behind at the first attempt. The referee's hand goes up, says there's a foul on the McCool's man, and the free will go the way of Donegal.
Yeah, an opportunity for Donegal to extend their advantage once again. But you mentioned him there, Kevin Keeley. We flagged in the first half. He is playing at sort of centre back there. I've been impressed with him and how he's used the ball. Yes, he has defended really well, but he's been very composed in terms of how he's used the ball once he has got it. So he did well there to build another attack, and it's a chance now for Jerry Gilmore to add to his tally. He's got 5 already so far today.
And the interesting thing is it's 5 out of 5 for Jerry Gilmore.
Yeah,
he's been deadly accurate. He's missed absolutely nothing. 100% record, and they've been from all areas of the pitch. And this one is 55 metres out. Steadies down, looks at the post, it's on its way, and this time he's pulled it to the left and pulled it wide. Give him the build up and he let me down.
That's that second time today, Jerry, you've given the commentator's curse to the poor free taker.
Yeah, but he has been really, really impressive up to that, and I would have put my house on him.
There's a change here in the goal for Donegal. I'm just looking, number 16, Oisin Marley from St Tanta is going to come in for Luke White. Now Luke was getting a bit of treatment in the, at the end of the first half, so I wonder maybe has he not fully recovered. So because he was the hero against Tyrone in the quarter-final, saving a number of penalties, so it could be pre-planned or it could be an injury to Luke. So if he is injured, hopefully he is okay. Anything
you can do, we can do as well. That seems to be the motto, because both teams have now changed their goalkeepers as their first substitutions. So Oisin Marley is on the field of play, and he will replace Luke White as the puck out is scrambled for, and it's that man Kevin Keeley does really well, feeds it forward. Great battle for it down below us here. It looks like the Derry man might win out, but Richie Ryan will have a say in that, but it was well played by Tiernan Mealock, and Derry have came out with it, and the ball spread now towards Shea Casty. 2 points in the first half, cuts back inside, looks up. One of his options is to hit it to Paul Cleary. Cleary has possession, needs support, has it there from Conor Coyle. The Slaughtneil man lays it back, a little bit too intricate over there, and it may well be turned over, and it has been turned over by the Donegal men, and Kieran Bradley was the man who forced that turnover and gives it to Keeley. Keeley delivers it long, dangerous ball inside, getting his hand on Richie Ryan. Ryan still scrambling for it, but there's plenty of red jerseys there to hold up this Donegal attack. Still the tussle for it on the ground. Referee looking very closely at it, happy to allow Derry, it looks like, coming out with it. And it's that man Patrick Turner that you spoke about in the first half that you were impressed by. It delivers a ball down there, not the best ball in the world from Turner, and it's picked up easily there by Kevin Keeley. Feeds it forward. Ball picked up on this occasion by Conor O'Grady. O'Grady feeds it forward. not a good ball. Easily intercepted there by Eamon Casty. Casty, the opening point scorer of the second half, has been dispossessed there by Brian McIntyre. McIntyre lays it back to Gilmore. Gilmore this time going for one from play. He's had 5 from frees. It looks good from Gilmore. It is good from Gilmore. So he's had 5 from frees and 1 from play, and he puts Donegal 2 in front again.
Yeah, really interesting passage of play there. A lot of turnovers either side, but well done by Brian McIntyre to win that ball, win that possession back for Donegal. He found Gilmore, he took full advantage of it. So the referee had a hand up for an advantage. There was a foul on the Donegal man as he was coming out with the ball from the puck out. So an opportunity now for Donegal to maybe extend their lead by a further point to make it a 3-point lead. I'm just looking to my right hand side, our right hand side here. The Donegal goalie, the Donegal full back players, they all have their hands and their hurleys across their eyes to try and shield that sun. So I wonder, could that be an issue maybe as we're getting into the last 20 minutes of this game?
Yeah, and I'm looking to my left to see where the sun is shining from, and I don't see any dark clouds anywhere near it at the moment, so it's going to be prevalent for a while as Jared Gilmore steadies down on this one again. A very difficult effort for Gilmore, but his confidence must be high. He's had 5 from frees and 1 from play, and this one's on its way, and it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. That is a super score again from Jerry Gilmore. What an afternoon he is having. That's his 7th point in this game.
Yeah, he's been exceptional so far. Even how he's been using the ball, obviously, as well as the frees. And I'm just noting there that there's a substitution for Donegal. Number 17, Russell Ford. He's coming in place of number 15, John Keeley. So
Russell Ford from St Eunan's is in for John Keeley, number 17.
Short ball out here by Derry. They're working it out through Cahir McGilligan.
And Cahir McGilligan delivers it long now. Ball breaks again, break ball. Conor O'Grady is the man who's onto it, and Donegal come forward again. Not well, it has reached a Donegal jersey. Scrambling for it at the second attempt is Conor Gartland. It looks like that's a foul on the Derry man Eamon Casty, and the referee agrees with that, and the free will go the way of Derry, and this is scoreable.
Yeah, a bit of a push in the back there on Cassidy. He used his body well to protect the ball, and the Donegal man just pushed through the back of him. So it's a chance now for Declan Foley to take this free. It's interesting that Foley's on this one rather than Fintan Bradley.
Yeah, maybe so, the longer distance ones are Foley's forte.
Yeah, and Foley's been good so far today. He's held centre half position very well. He caught a great puck out 4 or 5 minutes ago, so it's a chance for Foley now to narrow the gap.
He has the distance, but I think it's tailing to the left hand side. Yeah, indeed it has. So wide number 8 for the Derry men.
Yeah, and their first wide of the second half. So look, they have been much better in front of goal. But they still need to be tagging on as many scores as possible. It's 3 apiece in this second half. It was 10-7 at the break. Still a 3-point advantage for Donegal. Great take by Eamon Cassidy there in the half back line.
Super take. Gives it to Tiernan Maylock. Maylock feeds it forward again. No Derry jersey there, so it's easily picked up by Farley. Well, when I say easily, the pressure goes on now, and Derry working really, really hard. It's gone out over the sideline down there, and the referee is in, or the linesman has indicated that it's going the way of the Donegal man.
Yeah, I'm just looking across. Declan Foley, number 6 for Derry, is sitting as a sweeper, as is number 11. I believe number 11, Kevin Keeley, is going to be maybe playing as a sweeper. So it's sweeper against sweeper. Donegal are trying to. Well, the line ball didn't go to plan there, but they're trying to take full advantage of their lead and maybe just shore things up a little bit, because Derry did make that good start in the first 5 or 6 minutes of the second half. So it's interesting the tactical approach that Donegal are taking there.
Kieran Bradley very disappointed with that line ball. Hits it out directly out over the sideline. So the resulting line ball will go the way of Fintan Bradley. And change now again on the Derry side. It's Eamon Duffy, number 18, that's making his way off. Yet to see who is coming on. We'll pick that up in a moment for you. I think it could be Ewan Boyle wearing number 22. Confirmation now on the tannoy, but we'll follow the play. Fintan Bradley, not the best sideline puck in the world either, and he may get it at the second or third attempt, as Ewan Boylan has been confirmed as the substitution. Dangerous ball in there, but really, really well taken by the Donegal defender.
Yeah, it was Gavin Brown as
Gavin
well.
Brown again.
You had mentioned him so many times in the first half, Ger. So
yeah, really impressed by him. as that ball is fired in from distance from McKinney. That's a wonderful effort from Liam McKinney. He's another man. There's probably two men that's jumping out for me. Gavin Brown and Liam McKinney have been really, really good, and McKinney's work rate, and then he shows that he can hurl as well when he pops that one over the bar. That's a super score and puts Donegal 4 in front.
Yeah, it's a great play by Donegal there. Eamon Cassidy has won this puck out from pass, but he's lost the ball though. Now Derry have won it back though. It's a real scrap for possession here.
Working hard to try and get it back there now. Shea Cassidy battling for it. Ball spills, ball breaks. Oisín Kelly trying to retrieve the situation. Does the Burt man. Does well. Gets his side a free, and he relieves the pressure, and Donegal will be happy. Get a bit of air into the lungs and get set up again. They've had a good... Well, the opening 3-4 minutes... It was worrying. They were outscored 3 points to 1, but since then they've hit 3 on the bounce and they're leading by 4 points.
Yeah, they'll be delighted at this stage, Jerry. In terms of they had the 3-point advantage at halftime. It's now 4. They've managed the early Derry storm, and look, there's 15 minutes to go, plus whatever injury time Ruan McKinstry adds on. So look, they'll be happy so far, Donegal.
Ball breaks there to be battled for. Richie Ryan going in there to try and use his physical presence. So too Peter Kelly. A couple of Derry defenders scrambling for it. Looks like Ryan McGill might be the man that come out with it, and Turner helps him and distributes the ball close to side. And this Sun playing a significant part in the game now. It's hampering those who are to our right hand side. That's the line ball taken quickly there for Donegal. Fed forward, Donegal just about retaining possession. It's the substitute, Russell Ford. Has it been turned over? No. Donegal have done well, still coming out with it, and crossfield it comes there to Conor Gartland. Gartland, the captain of the side, feeds it forward one more time to Kevin Keeley. Keeley had a wonderful game so far, takes his eye of it. The referee, however, says that there was a tug or maybe a bat with the hurl, was it? That
yeah, it was
a bit
of a loose stroke, I think, just on Kevin Keeley as he was breaking forward. So yeah, it's an opportunity now for Donegal to go 5 ahead, and look, they'll be really happy. I mentioned a moment or two ago, Ger, they set up with a sweeper. Derry will nearly think about pushing their sweeper up to maybe play 6 on 6 or 7 on 7 in the forward line, because Donegal will have the advantage here, and Derry need to get scores on the board very quickly, or else this game is going to run away from them.
Joe Mulholland making his way off there for the Derry side, so we'll see in a moment who has come on.
Yeah,
for him.
It's a spot of the Tiernan Mealock is way off as well. They're number 7, so we'll check in a wee second here just who's going to come on. So yeah, Jerry Gilmore have the opportunity now for
his 8th and Donegal's 15th. Steadies down, looks at the post. Gilmore, has he pulled it? Oh, he'll be very disappointed with that one. That was very, very important. I felt, particularly at the stage of the game, 16 minutes played, going 5 in front. You would have thought would have been a strong position to be in.
Could be a turning point, Jerry.
Yeah, could well be. As Ewan Boylan does well, the man who was introduced a few moments ago for the Derry men, feeds the ball forward. Still the opportunity presents itself there for Shea Cassidy. Cassidy's shot goes in. Cassidy's shot looks good. Haran Thrasnaun, over the bar it goes, and that's Shea Cassidy's 3rd of the afternoon, and it brings the gap back to 3 points, 14 points to 11.
Yeah, it could have easily been 5 ahead for Donegal, but Derry have got that score to make it a 3-point game, a 1-score game, and look, anything can happen here. Christy McNaughton, Shea Cassidy, they've been effective in terms of going forward, and look, who knows, a goal could really change this game for Derry.
Well, I was just about to say that if either of these teams get a goal, you would expect that would be a really, really decisive score as the referee's whistle goes. I think he's awarded the free to Donegal. Number 19 on the field of play was one of the subs that came on, was Conor McGurk from Lavey.
That's correct. We're just listening to the Tannoy overhead as well, just get the second change that was made. But look, it's been a very, very competitive second half so far. 3-point advantage for Donegal. Derry, as I mentioned, they might consider pushing Declan Foley up into the forward line. He has played as a forward throughout a lot of his career. He's been playing at number 6 for his club, Namoya, and he's now playing at 6 with Derry. So look, it is an option for Derry that they have to maybe push him up into the half forward line as well. So it'll be interesting to see how the next 3 or 4 minutes play out, because Derry will want to be narrowing this advantage going into the closing stages of this game.
The watch says we have 18 and a half minutes played, and the scoreboard says there's 3 points between the sides. course, Donegal back-to-back winners in 23 and 24, looking to do a 3 in a row in the Conor McGurk Cup as the ball is fed in long. Dangerous ball, but easily picked up on that occasion by Conor Coyle from Slough-Neil, and the ball delivered long. Derry trail by 3, looking for scores. Picked up on this occasion by Ewan Boylan. Boylan has been dispossessed, and Donegal have defended that one really well and come forward again. It's Conor Gartland back there who fires it long, close over to this terrace side, but picked up again there by Patrick Turner for the Derryman. He lays it off there to Conor McGurk. McGurk back inside, it goes to Conor Coyle. Coyle back to Turner. Turner now has a bit of space to operate in. Good ball fed forward, taken at the first attempt by Darragh McGilligan. McGilligan does really well, dead straight in front of the post, should be able to pop this one over, but it goes to the left and goes wide. That was maybe a too much time, if there's such a thing.
Do you know what, I was half expecting Derry to maybe go in and try and create a goal chance, because it was on. It was a 3-on-2 inside, and you know, he went for the score and just pulled it slightly to the left. So yeah, it's a costly miss for Derry, but it still is only a 3-point game, so anything can happen, Ger.
Derry beat Queen's 325 to 7 points on the 7th of January, then beat Down earlier this week 2-5 to 14 to reach this final. Donegal, they drew with Tyrone 3-13 apiece and won 4-3 in penalties, and then the semi-final against UU didn't go ahead because of weather, and they won the game on a toss as the referee takes out his notebook for the first time this afternoon, and as Declan Foley, the joint captain of the Derry side, that goes into Ruan McKinstry's notebook for spooking in what has been a clean and sporting game.
Yeah, look, Peter Kelly, number 13, caught that ball really well from the puck out and was fouled by Foley. It was a really big hit by Declan Foley, and Kelly secured the ball well, you know, and drew the foul. So yeah, yellow card for Foley, and an opportunity now for Gilmore to add to his personal tally, but more importantly from his point of view, to extend Donegal's lead.
Yeah, look, it'd be a 2-score game if this one goes over. I know we've still plenty of time left, 10 minutes, but to get 2 scores in front would be important for Donegal as Gilmore steadies down. He's hit 7 so far in the game, and he's hit number 8. Fine effort again by Jerry Gilmore, his 8th of the game, puts his side 15-11 in front with exactly 9 minutes to play.
Yeah, Gilmore, he had 4 in the first half. He's now got 4 in the second half, so he's been a massive player for Donegal so far, and you know, that's no surprise because he has been an exceptional player for Donegal for a number of years now.
And here he is on the ball, close to the sideline, doing his defensive duties. Feeds it back there to Conor O'Grady. O'Grady fires it long, but there's plenty of red jerseys there, but the ball left behind at the second attempt is Conor Coyle, who comes forward, and there's a strong run from Coyle. Still going as the Slough-Neil man lays it off. Still the opportunity presents itself, but the referee's hand has gone up. He's awarded a free for a late challenge by one of the Donegal defenders, so an opportunity immediately to bring it back to just 3 points. And Fintan Bradley, he's not walking over, he's jogging over. He knows that Derry need to pop this one over and get back into action to try and narrow the gap.
Yeah, great run by Conor Coyle, breaking forward, slipped the ball off to his club teammate Ewan Boylan, and he was fouled. So yeah, it's a score there for Fintan Bradley. So 3-point game, as you mentioned, Ger. So yeah, every opportunity that Derry get now, they'll need to make this count, because you know, if Donegal can keep tagging scores on and extending that lead to maybe, as you say, a two score game in terms of 4+, you know, that'll suit Donegal. Whereas Derry need to keep chipping away at this lead. And look, with 7.5 minutes plus, would you rule out penalties at this stage, Ger?
Well, rule out nothing in sport nowadays, as Richie Ryan makes his way off for Donegal. We'll pick up who came on in a moment as we watch Peter Kelly battling for the ball over there. It's been turned over, and the opportunity now for Eamon Cassidy, floated in round the danger area, up the go for it, but sitting in behind there was Kieran Bradley, using his experience and using his craft, doing really, really well. Gives it out to Oisín Kelly. Kelly back to Bradley, just about. Bradley now fires it long into the forward line. The substitute that came on was Kieran Brady. Brady got his hurl on the ball, but coming out with it there for the Derry man was another sub that came on, Owen Scullion from Ballinascreen. Referee says there's a foul on the Derry man, and the free goes the way of the Oakleaf men. We've played 23 and a half minutes, 15-12. Anybody's game here in Celtic Park in this, the Conor McGurk Cup final. Coming to you live on Ulster GA. The ball with Shea Casty. He's had 3 points to his name so far. Casty from Slough-Neil, still in possession. The ball goes out over the sideline. Little bit of aggro between Cassidy and Kevin Keeley, but the referee happy to let that happen and move the play forward. Ball fed inside, intelligent ball inside. Was that a foul? Referee says no. Shoulder to shoulder. He indicates that by patting his shoulder, and Donegal come out with it. Strong defensive play again by Farley, but he has been turned over. Ball goes to ground. Battling for it there is Fintan Bradley. Bradley still in possession. Bradley lays it back. Now an opportunity to get a shot away. In it goes. That's a fine effort there from Declan Foley, the man wearing number 6, the joint captain of the side, and that's a brilliant score. He had no time to operate in whatsoever. Just flicked the hurl at it, and well, over the bar it sailed.
Yeah, big score by Foley, and it reduces the gap to 2. So that puck out has just been slightly overcooked, but has been won well by Oisín Kelly. Yeah,
Oisín Kelly down below us retrieves the situation for Donegal, and Brian McIntyre comes forward with it. He's a skillful player, has been hooked as he went to get his puck away, and the ball is in the hands of Conor Gartland. Gartland feeds it back across. All to play for here. Conor O'Grady in possession. Back it comes to Keeley. Keeley fires it in. Dangerous ball up the battle for the goalkeeper, however. Passmore is the man who is alert to what's happening in front of him, and the ball is distributed forward now, picked up by Conor McGurk. End-to-end stuff here in this final, 15-13. Is there an opportunity to go for the post here from Conor McGurk? He elects to feed it forward, down towards Ewan Boylan. Boylan goes to ground. Referee happy with that. 2 Donegal men turn it over. One of them is Conor McGrady. McGrady, can't take your eyes of this one at the moment. It's all action. Liam McKinney now striding forward for Donegal. McKinney, crossfield ball, diagonal ball. 3 Derry jerseys there. I would say they'll come out with it. They do come out with it in the shape of Thomas Brady, who's on the field of play for Derry, out over the far side of the field. The ball is distributed forward. Still Derry retain possession with McGilligan close to the sideline, flicks it inside, but there's Donegal jerseys there, and again battling for it is Fintan Bradley. Bradley flicks it forward to Conor Coyle. Lots of turnovers. Does that look like a foul? The referee, yes, agrees. Frontal push on the Derry man, and this is an opportunity now to bring it back to a 1-point game. This is exciting stuff.
Yeah, it's a really, really good finish, in the last sort of closing stage of this game. And look, this is not an easy free, close to the sideline. Fintan Bradley has been quite good on them so far, but look, Derry are coming into this game well. That last score from Declan Foley, has inspired his teammates, because it was always score for score. And Derry now on top the last 4 or 5 moments of this game, so it's a chance now for Bradley.
Fintan Bradley steadies down. He's hit 4 to date. Hits this one in. This looks good. No, it's gone to the left and gone wide.
That's an expensive one now. 10th wide for Derry, and they can't really be affording to be hitting too many more. Nearly 27 minutes gone of this second half, so we're really in the closing stages now. Great take by Conor Coyle, though. 2
points between the sides. Ball flicked forward. Derry in possession. Nice bit of skill there in the centre of the field, but Donegal alert to it, and in particular that man Kevin Keeley again. Referee blows his whistle, indicates that there's a free, and the free will go the way of the Derry men, and the man who will probably take it was the man that was fouled. That's Fintan Bradley.
Yeah, well, look, Bradley, he does seem to be down there holding his head, so they might change the free taker to maybe to Christy McNaughton or Declan Foley, who are both equally accomplished free takers as well. But it's definitely, this is a really exciting finish to this Conor McGurk final. If Derry can get one on the board here, it'll make it a 1-point game, and it really is all to play for. Then, Jerry, it's been an enthralling game. It really has so far. So
it's very, very hard to separate them. Both of them have had terrific spells in the game and have had moments of ascendancy, but then the other team comes back. It's been richly entertaining.
Yeah, absolutely, and it has been. We mentioned a moment or two, maybe 7 or 8 minutes ago, Gilmore missed a free, and I mentioned it could have been a turning point, and Derry have come back into the game well since that. Now, this one is a critical one because if Bradley or whoever is going to be taking this free, if Bradley's hurt, they need to get this one on the board for Derry, because it'll make it a 1 point game. Moving into the last 2 minutes plus injury time, they need to be getting scores on the board.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff here, coming to you live from Celtic Park, and Fintan Bradley hobbles away. Is he fit to stay on the pitch? The answer, I think, is yes. Is he fit to take the free? I think the answer is no. So it'll be that man, Declan Foley, who took one from distance, a lot further out than this a few moments earlier. So Foley is the man that's tasked with this free taking opportunity. He is one of the joint captains of the side, along with Ryan McGill. In it goes, and over the bar it goes. That's a crucial score from Declan Foley. Brings it back to a 1 point game. We'll have to keep a very close eye on the board over on the far side to see how many minutes are going to be added on, because that will be crucial. We're down to a 1 point game in this final, as the ball is picked up there by Conor Gartland. The Burt man scored 2 points in the game, close to the sideline, has taken it out over the sideline, and the free or the sideline puck will go the way of the Derry man, who are finishing this game stronger.
Yeah, really close to the sideline there, and the referee, he's actually given the free in to Donegal there. I think I saw him using the foot action in terms of sweeping the foot for a trip.
Right.
Okay, so he suggested that Gartland was tripped over on that side. So if Donegal can add to the scoreboard here to make it a 2 point advantage, it could be the winner.
Crucial call by our referee, but as you say, he was indicating he was moving his right foot that there was a trip. Yeah. So he's closer to the action than we certainly are. So look, how many times have I said this afternoon about Jerry Gilmore and important frees and so on and so forth, but when you come down into the last few minutes of the game, they become even more important. He's hit 8 so far. Here he comes, close to the sideline, 48 metres out, steadies down, it's on its way. It's looking good. It is good. Super score again from Jared Gilmore. Over the bar it goes. How crucial will that one be, Simon?
Yeah, 2 point advantage now for Donegal. We're in the injury time. Remember, 30 minutes in the pre-season competition. So yeah, it's a fascinating finish. That puck out's gone a wee bit short. Donegal have intercepted it.
Donegal in possession. If anybody sees the board going up, let us know what the time. 3 minutes of additional time to be played, we're told, and we've a minute of those more or less played at this stage. So it's another sideline puck over there, is it? For Donegal.
That's right, Jared. It's a line ball for Donegal, and this is an important one. Would you put the ball down the line, or would you maybe try and go for the score? It's a big opportunity now for Gartland. I've seen him do it before, Jerry. He's very good on them, so let's see what happens.
Well, he walked over very, very confidently to that. Evidently, he's the trusted man. He is the captain of the side, and if he has it in his locker, I think he's right to go for it. Difficult ground conditions, slots it in, dangerous looking ball, but the goalkeeper is on to. The goalkeeper is Leo Passmore. Derry, do they need a goal, or can they manufacture 2 quick fire points? We're into the metal pot of this game, but Donegal have turned it over again with Hilferty coming forward. Still the St. Eunice man threads it forward. Not the best ball in the world. The ball slipped across now by Ryan McGill into the hands of Foley. Foley spreads the play out over the far side. This is a good purposeful attack, but brilliant defensive play by Liam McKinney. Super turnover again by McKinney. What a game he's had. Ball fed out. Not the best ball in the world. Great battle for it over there. The Derry men come out with it. Plenty of Donegal defenders there to try and turn it over, as Rory Biggs is on the field of play for Derry. He was the man that was turned over. The ball fed in long. The goalkeeper watches it all the way, but Donegal will be able to retain possession. Do they try and hold on to it? No, crossfield ball there didn't work out that time from Russell Ford, and if Derry turned it over, the answer is no. Ford goes back in to try and get it. So too does Kieran Brady, but it's the Derry man, and without the hurl, he kicks it. That was Patrick Turner. He kicked it out, but the referee's whistle had gone. Let's see what the watch says. 32 minutes and 32 seconds. We have 28 seconds left in the game. Derry definitely need a goal at this stage. Donegal leads 16-14. The ball is pucked long. This is last chance saloon for the Oakleaf men. Donegal go for 3 in a row. The ball breaks. It breaks favourably for Donegal. Gartland goes to ground, but Derry hunt for it. But Donegal come out with it again. They're in possession. They have men over on the far side. Kieran Bradley slips it over there to McIntyre. He's a skillful operator. Slips it inside to Liam McKinney. It'd be fitting if he had the final score. It could be McIntyre. McIntyre's shot goes in. He looks at it, but it's gone to the left-hand side, and it's gone wide. Another wide for Donegal, their 9th of the game, and the ball has been poked out already. The action is on down below as Derry need a goal. Ball fed inside. Opportunity for McGilligan. McGilligan slips it inside. Donegal have turned it over again. Brilliant defensive play. Picked up by Farley. Farley trying to work it out, but Derry have it. The referee's hand goes up. We've played the 3 minutes of additional time.
It's a free in, Jared.
It's a free in, and Derry have to go for a goal here, and Donegal are alert to that, and they're trying to get back inside to try and retrieve the situation.
Yeah, it's Christy McNaughton. He went for one earlier before the referee's whistle had gone, and this is the last opportunity of the game now. Christy McNaughton has to get a goal for Derry here. Here we go.
Here he comes, has to go for the goal. In it goes! He's hit the back of the net, and Derry have won this game courtesy of that last-ditch effort there from Christy McNaughton. Well, that's a hammer blow to Donegal, who've dominated long parts of this game, but it looks as if it has been taken from their grasp with that last ditch effort from Christy McNaughton, which rattles the back of the net, and Derry lead by 1. Have Donegal time to get an equaliser and force this game into penalties? It's all over. What a dramatic finish to this Conor McGurk final. Somehow Derry have come back from the death, and Christy McNaughton is the hero. The man who plays his hurling in Cushendall has netted for the Derry men, and it's Derry who are the Conor McGurk champions for 2026. What a dramatic finish, Simon Doherty, to this final.
Incredible finish, Ger. Absolutely incredible finish. And Donegal, you're absolutely right. They'll be gutted because they had done so many things well. And Jerry Gilmore was exceptional. He's been awarded the man of the match as well, number 6 for Donegal. He was exceptional today. 9 scores he got, and really led the charge for his team. But what a finish by Christy McNaughton at the end there from that free, and what a way to finish the game.
Well, I'm trying to grasp my breath after that. That was unbelievable finish, and you have to give credit. You talked about McNaughton earlier. He was the man that wanted to get his hands on the ball and take a quick free earlier on. The referee deprived him of that, but on that attempt, he was the man that stood up, and he was the man that delivered. What an effort.
Yeah, he's a really, really great striker of the ball, Christy is, and he showed great courage, in terms of stepping forward. I want the ball, I'll take this opportunity, and he deserves great credit. He finished with 1-2, he got 2 scores from play, and obviously that goal from a free, but I think it would be remiss of us not to mention some of the other players as well on both teams. In terms of the Derry team, Shea Cassidy did really well to create that opportunity, and he was fouled. The pull of the jersey, he ended up with 3 scores from play, for Derry. On the Donegal side, Conor Gartland was exceptional, the team captain, as was Liam McKinney, and Jerry Gilmore, number 6, as we mentioned, the man of the match, finished with 9 points. But I think both teams will take massive heart from this, Jer, in terms of moving forward to their National League campaign. And it was a really, really exciting game, and delighted we've been able to enjoy it together.
Yeah, look at it. It's been a terrific game. The quality of the scores, the quality of some of the frees from the man of the match, Jared Gilmore. If you've seen them on any hurling field in Ireland, you'd be tipping your hat to him, because there were some exceptional efforts from him, and rightly awarded the man of the match.
Yeah, and Gilmore, he struck one early in the second half, not too far in front of us here during the terrace side here of Celtic Park, and what a score that was. That must have been at least 95 to 100 metres out from the opposition goal, and look, he was really, really good. And a lot of credit needs to go, I think, to Jeglan Foley too, number 6 for Derry. He came into the game really well late on. He got a great score from play and a second one from a free to narrow the gap to 1, and that was something that was really critical on reflection.
Yeah, because Donegal were leading 15-11 as we entered the 22nd minute. They had an opportunity, as you alluded to in commentary, to go further ahead, but then Fintan Bradley free, but then 2 points from Jeglan Foley that you just spoke about in the 24th and the 28th minute, 1 from play and 1 from a free, kept Derry in this game, kept them within touching distance, so really played a captain's role.
Yeah, absolutely, and I have to say I was really impressed with the returning Conor Coyle from Slough-Neil. He linked up well with some of his club mates, Eamon Cassidy and Shea Cassidy at times. I remember, Ger, looking back, there was one driving run through that Conor Coyle made through the heart of the Donegal defence. slipped it off to Ewan Boylan, another clubmate, for a free.
Yeah.
You know, and that reduced the gap further for Derry. You know, and that was a critical moment looking back at the game. You know, and that was you know, leadership in terms of a guy that had maybe missed a lot of last season with injury. You know, it was now back fully fit. So credit to him and credit to Derry and to Donegal for two really good performances today.
I just see Declan Woods, who's the vice chairman of the Ulster Council and the head of the hurling committee, of course, making his way down to the pitch and asking Jerry Gilmore to come forward and receive his Man of the Match award over there in the stadium. And I think I see we're a long way and we don't have a monitor, but I think that's Paula McGurk who will hand the Man of the Match award to Jared Gilmore. Of course, Paula, wife of Conor, who's this competition is being played in memory of. And Declan saying a few words before handing Jared the award. And of course the Derry team line up to come forward and receive the Conor McGurk Cup over on the far side. And well, Jared Gilmore will be disappointed that his team have lost, as we see Paula handing the Man of the Match award to the Donegal number 6, who ended up with 9 points in this game. And any day you go out and hit 9 points, it's some effort. I think 8 of them were from frees and one from play.
Yeah, and very, very fitting that Ger received the Man of the Match. I thought it was exceptional all day, and it has been for a number of years for club and for Donegal as well. So great credit to him, you know, and a nice guy as well. But look, it's Derry's day. They stole it right at the end. So look, as I mentioned, moving into the National League next week, both teams I think will be really happy in terms of, you know, their performance levels today. You know, they'll take plenty from it and plenty of learnings as well, Ger, moving forward throughout the rest of the calendar year.
And we spoke at the very start of this broadcast about the importance of this pre-season competition and getting game time and you know, developing your tactics and your team structure and so on and so forth. So these games, as you have alluded to, will really bring on these teams. Derry got 3 games, of course, against QUB and against Down in this final against Donegal today, whereas Donegal have had 2 cracking games, a drawing game against Tyrone and this, well, very close, tight encounter here this afternoon against Derry. But ultimately it is the Oakleaf men that have snatched it, I would say, right at the death. 2 points down, the last play of the game. Referee awards a free from what, probably 30 metres out, I would say.
Yeah, 25 anyway, 25, and it was great finish by McNaughton. You know, I've seen him do that for Cushendall for so many years as well. League games, championship games. You know, and you had mentioned earlier, Ger, he showed the ingenuity to actually line one up before the referee's whistle. So you know, that was the warning for Donegal. You know, but Christie's a great striker of the ball, and you know, it was a really good finish. And yeah, look, it's it'll be tough for Donegal to you know, look back on maybe some of the chances that they missed. You know, and looking at the wide count, it was fairly similar. Derry had 10, Donegal had 9. So you know, you couldn't really argue that, say, you know, one team was much higher than the other. It was a really good competitive game, and I think both teams deserve a lot of credit for the standard that it was today. Especially, you know, pitch was good, but it was bobbly at times, which is understandable. We're still in January, of course, but you see Jeglan Foley and Ryan McGill, the joint captains, going up to receive the trophy now, Ger.
Yeah, some nice words there from Declan Woods, the vice president of Ulster GA, and now Paula McGurk hands the Conor McGurk Cup to the joint captains, Declan Foley and Ryan McGill, and they take great delight in receiving that trophy from Paula. First time to win it on the auspices of the Ulster GA running this competition. Won it way back in 2015 when Queens ran this tournament. I think they were the inaugural winners of the competition.
That's right, Ger. Yes, that's they actually would have played my Armagh team at the time, and yeah, look, you know, the really good final then, really good final today, and you know,
did you feature in that final?
I did, yeah. So yeah, no, look, we mentioned before the value of this competition, and you know, we've always had great finals. We really have, and it's been a real key for teams moving forward into the National League. So yeah, both guys lifting the trophy there. Fair play to Derry. Delighted
faces over there on Declan Foley and Ryan McGill as they lift the Conor McGurk Cup for 2026. The final has been played here in Celtic Park in brilliant conditions. Beautiful afternoon for hurling and a great, entertaining, close, hard-fought sporting encounter, I would sum it up as.
Yeah, looking back, I think it was only maybe one yellow card in the
One
game.
yellow
So
card
it's,
for Declan Foley.
and I have to say the referee I thought did very well, Ruan McKinstry from Armagh. Ruan deserves credit in terms of letting the game flow. But both teams will be happy in terms of the overall picture. Two good performances. They can build plenty from this moving forward. And Derry stole it at the end. They'll be delighted, but I think Donegal can be very happy with their performance level as well. So, yeah, both will be satisfied moving forward into the National League beginning next week.
Great stuff. Simon, thank you for joining us here on Ulster GAA. It's been great to have you along and have your insight. Of course, a man very, very knowledgeable in the field of hurling, particularly up here in Ulster, and we are grateful to have him on board this afternoon here in Celtic Park. So thanks very much for your contribution, Simon. So that's a wrap here in Celtic Park. The final of the Conor McGurk Cup has been played, and it has been won by the Derry men, courtesy of that last ditch goal from Christy McNaughton. The last puck of the game, his side trailing by 2. Up steps the Cushendall man. He buries it in the back of the net, and that means that the Conor McGurk Cup for 2026 will reside in the Oakleaf County. We hope you've enjoyed this broadcast this afternoon from Simon and from Damien Grimes on camera this afternoon, and from myself, Gerard Tracy. Thanks for joining us, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon.